Hello everyone, thank you for coming along tonight. What a great turnout. Thanks to Dale and her team as well. And yes, Dale's right. Back in the end of 2015, I wasn't feeling so well and went and visited the doctor and went and got an x-ray on my chest. And next thing I know, I was in the full swing of chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and the large B-cell lymphoma that was living in my chest doesn't live there anymore. So I'm happy about that. So I do understand what it's like to go through some treatment and some other peripheral type issues and aches and pains that you might get going through the treatment too. So well done to everyone. We see everyone's looking great. Things like neuropathy, getting some numbness through your fingers and toes was something that I was certainly worried about at the time. So I can probably talk to you a little bit more about toes rather than fingers. So my job today is to give you an idea of how to make one of these fit into one of these. That's that simple. So we'll help break it down. Dale and I also spoke about happy to answer any questions if anyone's got any. I'll be here till everyone's done. So if you do have any questions, please ask. But let me maybe just start by saying that what we do and my philosophy and where I got into footwear was from a point of helping people and reducing the risk of injury and making life a little bit more comfortable. So we've all worn shoes, so that's good. That's a good start. We've probably all worn shoes that haven't been the best for us too. So everyone's probably experienced that. And so our job is to try and match your feet to the better types of shoes, especially when you're trying to exercise and feel better about things. It's nice not to have to worry about your feet. But let's be realistic. Our feet connect to our ankles and our shins and our knees, and there's a song, isn't there? And there's a hip and back and so on. So it's all part of the chain. Our feet are the base of stability, and sometimes by not wearing the right things can make a difference. Sometimes by wearing the right things, it can improve the way that the whole chain works together and take some pressure off. So there's a couple of quick things that I just wanted to highlight to get us started. We have a look at feet because the foot has a few different structures. So this one's got a nice high arch. This one's kind of in between that one, which is flat, and that one, which is high. So everyone can see those two. And then this one is what most of us have. It's somewhere in the middle, but sometimes it can be a little bit more like this, and sometimes it can be a little bit more like this. So does anyone here think that they've got a flat arch? Yeah? Does anyone here think that they've got a high arch? No? And everyone else is in the middle? Yeah, that's kind of what we expect. Believe it or not, though, that these foot shapes, the really interesting thing is, if we look at this foot shape and this foot shape and think about why they're different, it's what holds them together. What holds the bones together, being the muscles, tendons, ligaments. This one, the structure is a little bit more loose and flexible. This one's a little bit more rigid. So basically that shape that we all have, it's a bit tighter and it curves up. And if it's a bit more loose, it flattens out. That also means there's a difference with the way feet move. And that's why a lot of research has gone into helping the body stay in better alignment. So the best way I can say it is that when you're moving in straight lines, doing an exercise like walking, if we move away from the center, our body pulls us back because it's much easier to keep going in a straight line. That's more efficient. And if we keep repeating that motion one way or the other and our body keeps pulling us back, sometimes it overloads the body and the structure and things start to get sore and tired. So people get sore arches, people get sore ankles, people get sore calves and Achilles in particular, and even things like lower back, which you don't immediately associate with your feet. So by having shoes that have a little bit more padding, and I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, the nice bright yellow ones, I don't see any of those out there at the moment, but there is a difference. So just need a quick volunteer. This is the same brand. Does anybody volunteer? Anybody that's not holding anything at the moment? Yeah, up the back, you, sir. There's one and there's two. So they're the same brand, and for all intents and purposes, they're both running shoes. In a moment, can you tell us if they're the same or different? And what I'd like you to do, can you squeeze them, twist them, and turn them. So don't be shy. You can't break a shoe. Excellent. Great. Well done. Look, he's getting a bit of muscle into it. Now, can you tell us, please, which one of those two shoes is more flexible?
I'd say this one slightly.
Correct. And the other one is a little bit more rigid.
Yeah.
So the truth is that the yellow shoe is actually built to control the movement of the foot so it doesn't roll in as much. Most of us roll in a little bit more, and that actually takes up a lot more energy. And at the same time your foot rolls in, the arch stretches or elongates to compensate for that. Also, you get your ankles turning, your knees turning, your hip and lower back tend to work a bit harder. So having something with a bit more structure is good for some people. How do you figure that out? Well, generally you need to A, be a podiatrist, B, need to know a bit more about your feet and your body, or you can come to somewhere like Active Feet and we can help you identify what you might need. So if you do get aches and pains, here's some quick and easy things to think about. It's not just when you're exercising. If you get the perfect sports shoe and you're doing your exercise and they feel comfortable, you can undo all the benefits by wearing terrible day-to-day shoes or thongs or the wrong sort of shoe. So, for instance, we see a lot of people accumulating stress and strain when they're wearing their work shoes. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we like to encourage a bit more space around the toes. Don't cram your toes in. Okay, that's really important. And for the walking motion, when you land and your body weight comes over and then you take off, there's some key things. And if you don't have these key things in your shoes, you might want to think about updating or reviewing them. You need a strong back. The strong back keeps you straighter and better aligned for moving in straight lines. Second thing, if you think about it, our foot only bends at the toes. So the shoe should only really bend at the toes. I can't twist this shoe very much beyond that point because our foot doesn't move much beyond that point. And the last thing is the right amount of stability and cushioning underneath. So there are three key things. A nice strong back should only really bend at the toes. If you can twist your shoes and really twist them in half, then they might not be supporting your body and your body weight in your activities. And the last thing is a bit of protection between you and the concrete, because that's smart. Humans weren't designed to be on concrete. So hopefully that's a really quick summary for you. Think about how your body moves, how your feet move, how the rest of your body's connected to your feet. Some of us are not as strong through the hips and lower back, and that you might need a little bit of strength and conditioning in those areas, which is what you guys do. So that's excellent. And this is only part of the solution, but it can make life a little bit more comfortable and reduce your feet and legs from getting tired and sore in a hurry. So that's pretty much it for you, Dale.
Thank you.
And were there any quick questions that we could answer now?
So could you put orthotics in those?
Good question, you can. Most of these shoes have a removable inner sole. That footbed in itself contours to your foot and takes on the shape, but you take that out to put in there. And just like the shoes at the back of the room, the yellow one, which has got stability built into it, if we put an orthotic in, if you're familiar with orthotics, it will actually overcompensate. So you don't want a stability shoe in general with orthotics. Yeah, good question. Anything else we can answer quickly now? Otherwise, I'm happy to hang around and I'd be really interested to listen to everyone presenting as well. No? No dramas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.